Hey y'all, it's Donnie. Happy Tuesday. It's time for the weekly reading. I have pre-shuffled and done my little 1-2. So if you want to go ahead and get online before we get started, you can go ahead and do so now. I'm going to start with the Didn't He Do It deck. And then I'm going to add any other messages from the High Council, Oracle, and Tarot deck if need be. Both of these decks are available on the website awalkwiththeancestors.com, and both decks are created by Miss Quatita Dean. If you check out her site, awalkwiththeancestors.com, you can check out many other goods and services that she has that are available, including specials for her live readings here on TikTok, okay? So let's get into it and see what we have for the week. Okay, hope y'all had a good Monday and a good weekend also. Let's see. All right, so the first card we have, it's two cards. The first two cards we have out are the Queen of Wands, the Queen and the King of Wands, okay. And then we have the Strength card, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, hold on, let me rearrange this a little bit. Just a smidgen bit. Okay. This feels like coming into your power this week. This definitely feels like coming into your power this week, and here's why. You have the King and the Queen of Wands. This is the perfect pair because these are of the same suit, but both the King and Queen of Wands, are definitely very much in their authority. They're very much vibrant, attuned to the spirit in a certain way where they've mastered the will. So when you've mastered the will, you're giving yourself a certain sense of direction. And I would even go as far as to say this is an aspect of your own masculine and feminine nature, if these are not two people or a fire sign couple. Okay, but that is also a possibility. But this is about you harmonizing your will. So whatever it is that you've been working on to hold on, because I'm getting something else. This is also about victory over your inner and your external enemies. I'm getting that too. With these two being followed by the Strength card, whatever it is you're working on, I would be looking forward to that becoming something that grows and is established that could at some point in time become bigger than you, for lack of a better word, in the long term. However, being followed by the Strength card, I also want to say that this is about you overcoming those internal and external enemies. The Strength card is about taming, but also integrating those sides of yourself that are like, you could just say like your shadow side, but your shadow is not an enemy, okay? The shadow is more so the side of yourself that is brought up in order for you to accept yourself fully as a whole and not these compartmentalized aspects of yourself where you're deeming something good or bad. The only time that the shadow becomes an enemy is if you're ignoring what's coming up and if you're trying to deny in some way or not take accountability for the way that you feel, which then in turn can turn into actions that you're not so proud of or that you have to reap certain type of karmic consequences for, okay? But with this being followed by the Queen of Pentacles, I want to say that this is about having learned those lessons, or if you're on the path of learning those lessons, then you're coming into accepting the material gain that comes from exerting your will in a certain way. All right, because the Queen of Pentacles, all of the queens are aspects of the Empress. All right, and you have 3 of the queens in this spread already. You got the Queen of Wands, Pentacles, and Cups. So this is your will, your material manifestations in the body with the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups is your intuition and mastery of your emotions, or the power of trusting your emotions to guide you and make you aware of what you need to know intuitively and finding pleasure in that and confidence in that, okay? So having all 3 of these here means that you are aligning yourself in a certain way from those more intuitive feminine aspects, all right? This is also something that could show that there is someone who carries this Queen of Pentacles energy who's an earth sign, Taurus, more predominantly, but also Capricorn and Virgo. So if you have an earth sign in your life who has already mastered this, or who is able to present certain opportunities or give certain types of career advice, I would say in this instance, I wouldn't be surprised if they contact you, or if you're in communication with them to help you to progress the things that you've been working on, to set you up here on this first line for this business or this idea or this goal that you have that may be something that starts with you but becomes bigger than you, meaning that it reaches a broader audience or a larger group of people here. With the Queen of Cups and the Four of Wands, this feels like you being able to set a certain type of foundation, maybe an engagement or a marriage as well, that is allowing you to set up a certain type of foundation here and bring about I want to say confidence and the stability that it is that you need in order to thrive. And meaning that when you don't have too many other physical needs to worry about, then you become more comfortable in creating your world. So this may be because you're moving, getting ready to move, or have just moved into a new place. And so you're settling into that, or it's saying that by the time you do settle into that new place or that new home or that new sense of home within yourself, you're going to be able to thrive. Essentially, you're able to, with the Nine of Pentacles, this is about material satisfaction. This is about your needs being met, you being comfortable in that, confident in that, being able to not worry about certain stressors that may have been stressing you in the past with bills and responsibilities. Like, that's covered. You have that covered, and you're able to lean in more into the frequency of luxury with this. Okay. And then followed by the Nine of Wands. You are kind of, with the Nine of Wands, this is about, kind of like holding your ground and saying, don't give up. Like, if you still feel like you're kind of pushing through or fighting through, exerting your will in some way to get to an end result, because you feel the opposition from other people's opinions, or maybe old mental programming from things that people have said to you in the past, while you're continuing to grow and build your confidence here with the King and Queen of Wands, there's becoming a merger there. Don't give up. With the Nine of Wands, I just want to say, don't give up. Keep going. Let's see if there's anything else to add from the didn't he do it before we get into the High Council. Gratitude. And I also want to say to rely on your spiritual strength, like the strength of your spirit here. Like, this is for someone or people who have a certain type of strength. It may be a quiet strength. You may be a little bit more bold and boastful with it, with the King and the Queen of Wands here. And I'll also say definitely to look to your fire sign placements and what those planets may be doing right now. That may also be an indicator of where you need to look or how you need to move and direct the will. Okay, we got a few more. Okay, we got FBI, police, they're watching. The Nine of Swords. We got Voodoo with the governess again here. And then we have Sagittarius. Okay, so people are watching you. That's for sure. I got this card in another reading for someone else. That was a private reading, and it really just was about people watching you in general. So don't be too alarmed. I would be more cautioned and concerned about this if this were reversed as the FBI and police oracle card, but there may be people or energies who are feeling like they want to police your behavior, your activity. They want to surveil and monitor what it is that you're doing. If you know you are in some type of lane or situation where this could be a thing with the FBI and police, then that may apply to you. But it just in general, it just means that people are watching, and it's coming in. I would say don't allow that to make you paranoid. Don't allow that to weigh too heavily on your mind. If you do feel overwhelmed, I'm going to tell you to hit up the governess for a reading, because she is here. It says Voodoo, but also to tap into your spiritual gifts and abilities. We understand and we know that magic is used to help us to clear the mind and to direct the mind in a certain way, to bring about a certain result. And I want to say, especially with the quantum conversation that has been had recently, and that's been coming around for me personally, but also that the governess has brought up, this is about you being able to direct the mind in a certain ways. So when you step into the void, you're impressing the quantum field in order to bring back a certain result. That's what magic is for. Point blank, period. Sagittarius, no. Sagittarius is about knowledge. So this is about using what you know in order to take that arrow that Sagittarius carries and to aim it to hit the target directly and not in a roundabout way. I'll be right back for part 2 because we're about to run out of time. Peace.